Alright, and I'm back. So let me move this down. Hope you don't mind the sound of my plate and fork and stuff. Although it's kind of funny because, oh, what the fuck? Wait, was that an ant? No. Am I just imagining things? Okay, I'm imagining things. I mean, I went over this several times before, but man, it's always during like the beginning of hot weather, or before the start of the rainy season. Well, or whatever there is in California. That's when ants always come out, because either like or I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, in summer, I guess they want someplace to cool down, so they start popping up more during hot weather. But right before rainy seasons, they tend to crop up as well to kind of like shelter from like the potential storm or whatever. But yeah, let me take a bite real quick. I'm hungry. We'll get right to city exploring in a bit. But yeah, as dumb as it sounds, I am eating like a donut with a fork because look, I'm not gonna try to like go up and leave and wash my hands every time I try to like take a bite. I mean, there's also, you know, oh god, that alt tab lag. Okay, but there's also, you know, getting a napkin and everything. But man, I don't want to just like waste the napkin like that. Or you can upgrade to a luxurious leather interior if you want to fly in style. I'm sure you'll find it to be exceptionally comfortable. Oh, I do like this one. I'll take these back to the hotel and think about them for a while. Oh yeah!
What was that?
Wait, what do you mean?
Whoops.
God damn it, Fee. You know, I wonder what would have happened. Oh, I wonder what would have happened if you would have proceeded without looking back. Or do you get invisible walled and Rean just says, maybe I should check behind me real quick. Dude, oh my god.
I thought so. Hey, why are you running away?
Suspicious.
I'm surprised you noticed me. I was trying pretty hard to be stealthy.
You know, I could just see the scene actually comically playing out. Beach trying to hide behind the pillar, but then Mishy just poking around the corner. Oh, finding Fee gives you bonus AP? Oh wow, that's sneaky. I wonder how many people like just kind of shrug their shoulders and actually just like move forward. You know, if the Trails games actually had like online statistics on like first playthrough like bonus discoveries, I guess, with like finding out stuff like this and whatnot. I wonder how many people would have missed this on first playthrough.
How long were you hiding there? Wait, have you been trailing me ever since I left the penthouse?
Well, I saw you slip out. So, where are you going? Are you really headed out for a late-night romantic rendezvous?
What kinds of lies has Sharon been feeding you anyway? Okay, here's what's up.
Rean explained how Captain Claire had called him and asked him to come out for a meeting.
That totally sounds like a rendezvous.
Without the romantic stuff.
Sorry, I shouldn't have interfered.
Whoa, it's not like that. Well, you know everything I know about it now. Why don't you come too?
You sure?
No reason not to. It sounded like whatever info she's got has something to do with our field study. And honestly, I wasn't all that keen on having a one-on-one with a military officer to begin with.
Gotcha. But first, I want to walk around a bit.
Huh.
After we've been walking around all day?
Whenever I come to a new city, I always like to get a feel for what it's like during the day and the night.
Alright.
I feel kind of uneasy if I don't.
Oh, right. It must be a Jaeger thing.
Rean, I can't tell if you're trying to say that in your mind or out loud with your mouth moving like that.
All right, I'll join you for a little stroll. I don't want to keep the captain waiting too long, though. Will once around town be enough?
That'll be fine. Okay, let's roll.
Well then. He joined the party. Alright. Let's see. I guess we'll replace Megalith with something else then. I would like to put in Falco, but at this point, I just want to put on stuff that still needs XP. Let's see, Criminal's maxed out. We'll take that. Don't think we'll need detection though. So instead of actually, what did I want to replace? Should we get extra speed? Extra HP? I don't think we really need it. Unless whatever we might come up, whatever we might encounter might, like, screw with me. Move 3... I'm fine. Showing off the courageous today really drove up our sales. Alright, I'd say this calls for a celebratory drink on the way home.
I'll handle it.
By the way, did you happen to run into Sharon on your way out?
She saw me leaving, but she just let me go.
Even the best maids aren't that all-knowing.
Duh, she's no ordinary maid. Stop right there. On the other side of this gate is Marcus Rogner's residence. What business do you have here? Nothing. Students, you look suspicious to me. Where are you from? Better not have been sent here by those railway military police dogs. God damn!
You seem oddly cautious.
Oh.
Yeah, wonder if it has something to do with the RMP.
I wasn't expecting an active voice here. Oh, I guess Fee might have like an active voice for a good amount of locations here, maybe. Nah. So, about that Red Moon Rose. Oh. my wife marches to the beat of her own drum. Oh yeah, the walking catastrophe! I beg and plead with her not to add her personal touches to her cooking, but will she listen? No, she won't. I was in the middle of making a stew and the pot just exploded. What could possibly have caused that to happen? I haven't the faintest idea. The pot exploded? How?
This is where Claire said to meet her, right?
Yeah, this looks like the place.
I wonder what all that commotion this evening was about. This is the first time I've seen armored cars on the streets of Rower. I don't understand what they were arguing about, even if you told me, but I wish they stopped fighting. Actually, one moment. Excuse me. Oh, this guy's still here. I made some good deals today. With the way the rifle group's going, the time is right for companies like mine to swoop in and sign some contracts. Rifle gets what they need and we get some good money. That Papri, I wonder time and time again not to listen to the radio while she's working. Simply unprofessional while we have customers checking in. We have an image to uphold and she would do well to understand that. The butler that's still searching for Annabelle. Another day of unrewarded effort. Oh, Lady Annabelle, where are you? Dude, I wonder how, like, Harrigan's, like master and everything is, like, thinking about this. Because, like, Annabelle just been on this journey all across Erebonia, and his butler's just like trying to scour every corner, just trying to find a lead. And meanwhile, what about the rest of Annabelle's family? Dude, when are we gonna see this plotline resolve? Oh, you know, I kind of wonder if they'll carry it on to Cold Steel 2 onwards. Oh, are you here for a room? You know, the front desk is downstairs, right? Oh, it is no one here? Okay. There was a time when we sold products from other companies here, but people were only ever interested in buying Rhineford goods. Our customers seem to believe they were elegant and built to last. Maybe it's just an Erebonian thing. Wait. I just noticed her name is Karen. So what happens if a customer channels their inner Karen and go, I like to see your manager, and the manager's Karen? Okay, I guess we can't deviate that hard. Beam bomb. Oh, wait, are you still playing hide and seek? Oh. Toddy, where are you? I gave up. You can come out. Why is the kid out this late? Yeah, I'm a bit concerned myself. Maybe we should try talking to him. Is something wrong? Who are you? Don't worry, we're good guys. But being out this late on your own could be dangerous. Shouldn't you be back home with your family? Well, I want to go home, but Toddy said he really wanted to play hide and seek. Hide and seek? This late at night? Yeah, we were playing earlier too, but when I accidentally found him, he got really annoyed about it. Maybe it's because I usually can't find him at all and have to give up. But anyway, he ran out saying that there's no way I'd find him this time. No holds bar hide and seek sounds kind of fun. How fun it is isn't the issue here. Both of your families know where you are, right? Yeah, we're next door neighbors, so we were told it's okay as long as we didn't go too far from home. I think Tidy's gone and hidden himself pretty far away this time, though. Oh, that could be a problem. Yep, maybe we should start seeking. Are you sure? Of course. You want to find him as soon as possible too, right? And besides, I doubt he's having a lot of fun being hidden away on his own this late at night. Thank you. Okay then. Any idea where he hid himself? Well, he wouldn't have hidden indoors, and that's against the rules. And I've searched all the hiding places he's ever used before, but I can't find him anywhere. I hope he hasn't gotten himself stuck anywhere hard to get to. Sounds like he really didn't want to be found, so he's probably somewhere he wouldn't normally hide. Maybe the upper level. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, let's see if we can find anywhere on the upper level that a child might try and hide. Thank you for helping. Good luck. God damn.
This was some kind of classy bar, I think?
Seems pretty lively in there.
Oh yeah, you can faintly hear like... Oh, that's a nice little detail. So here you don't really hear much, except for the music. But when you go closer to the diner, listen closely. You can hear like the whisperings and ramblings of like whatever's going on inside. I didn't actually think they'd go to that level of detail. Hey Long, order some more meat, will ya? I take half, you take half, and I'll pay for it later, I promise. Hell no, you just eat it all by yourself. I won't, I swear, come on, man. You ever noticed that? Yeah, I was like, why are there faint whisperings? I was like, oh, no way, is it like the bustle of the nightlife, or is it because it's bright, or is it because of the bar? Yeah, the bar has like a very low level from the outside of people talking from the inside. Lunch. The food here is not half bad. Good portions too. It's a perfect place for a working class guy like me. I worked really hard today. Nothing to do but get a bite to eat and head straight to bed. Wait, do you have a second thing? No. Can I talk to the maid that's... Oh, right, because Yuna's talking with Elisa. And it makes sense that she talked with Yuna because there's a lot of info that might pop up as you're working in a bar. Excuse me. Yeah, the Imperial Army and the Provincial Army are always like that, but it sounds like things have gotten even worse. What you're talking about, Yuna? Garen, inside voice. Sorry about that, Elisa. Where was I again? Hey, Yuna, top me off over here. Come to think of it, heard we had a bunch of those military police guys in Gray at the mine today too. They've got to be up to something. Probably wouldn't have anything to do with me though. Come on. Yeah. What? You hungry or something? We're just talking about how Elisa's back in town. I just sit on down right here and give us the dirt. Okay. Hey, Freck, how about you shut up while you're eating? Why are complaints putting a bad taste in my mouth? Nothing beats a good ale. Hey, Yuna, bring me another draft, will ya? Just because you order a beef bowl in here doesn't mean you'll actually get a beef bowl. You might get a pork bowl, if you're lucky enough to get meat at all. That's just how it is here. Oh, that's because Devance messes up the orders and stuff, I guess. Just because you order a beef, well, doesn't mean you'll get beef. Okay, yeah, we can't even leave outside as well. Same with here. Same with here. RF store? Welcome to the rural branch of the RF store. It's gotten pretty dark outside, hasn't it? This would be the perfect time to buy a portable orban light. We have a number of varieties here. I used to be an engineer, actually. At this time of day, I always found myself looking out for the factory workers going off for a drink. I suppose you could say it's a sight that's characteristic of Rower. It's practically part of the city's culture. Is there anything I'd like to make? Nah. Oh, no. Ipikatu. Okay. And the rest we'll think about later. Devances. Devances, this diner near the west exit of town is getting pretty popular. Food's great for the price, and the waitress is pretty cute too. How could any laborer not love it? Duh. Oh, wait. On that note, I think it's about time I started thinking about dinner. I think I might just do advances, actually. It's definitely cheap enough. Doggo. Oh my. I was so caught up in my reading that I didn't know— Reading, you say? That I didn't notice the time. I think it's about time Zink and I headed home. That was a good book, though. How would you like to read it? Yeah, buddy. Alright. Alright. 31 pages! Okay, hold on. Okay. Chapter 12. Elder Vampire. Garrett was Alphonse's superior and the commanding officer of a unit of the Imperial Army responsible for maintaining law and order in Heimdall. Widely known as the Garrett Team, more than that, he was like a father to Alphonse, as he was the man who had taken him in and raised them after Alphonse had lost his parents. Alphonse knew how hard Garrett had been working to try and catch the culprit behind the vampire murders, and how much anguish he felt at not being able to find any leads as to who the criminal might be. Even if he tried not to show it to his subordinates, his desire to help ease that burden on his foster parent was part of the reason that Alphonse was so determined to catch the murderer himself. So what was Garrett doing here in the underground with them? He was supposed to be at the tavern that Elroy had attacked, taking command of the operation. What business could he possibly have here? Alphonse didn't understand, or rather, he didn't want to understand. Garrett regarded Alphonse with a strange mix of disappointment and affection, like a father looking at his naughty child. Well, I suppose this is a lot to take in for you. He often made the same face when Alphonse addressed him too familiarly while on duty. Everything about Garrett was the same as ever, and he found that fact very disturbing. It was then he noticed that Luca was standing next to Garrett, her eyes vacant. She didn't seem at all bothered by the carnage around her. In fact, she didn't even seem aware of it at all. Charm? Said a weak voice. So then, that means you must be... Returning to his senses, Alphonse looked over in the direction of the voice. It was Rose. She was still lying on the ground. Blood bubbled on her lips from the effort of speaking. It was immediately obvious just from looking at her that the damage she sustained was lethal. No, don't kill Rose, please! She's cool! Garrett, seemingly surprised that she was still alive, responded to her unfinished question. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Vampire Hunter. My name is Garrett. I am the elder vampire that you two have been chasing all this time. You seem to have no interest in hiding the truth anymore. Sir... It was Elroy, barely clinging to life. He crawled across the ground to Garrett's feet. His clawed hand grasped weakly at Garrett's pant leg as if trying to cling to him. Sorry, sir, Garrett kneeled down and took Elroy's hand, quite literally, no, kidding. Bending over, he lifted him up like a parent might take a child in their arms. It's alright, Elroy. You did wonderfully luring in that loathsome vampire hunter to the capital. I was right to believe in you. I couldn't have asked for more. Listening to Garrett praise him, Elroy's expression was one of complete peace. And that's why I have no further use for you. Sleep well. The warmth in Garrett's words seemed to drain in an instant. The next moment, a twisted grin emerged on his face, revealing beast-like fangs. No sooner had Alphonse noticed them, they sank into Elroy's neck. Rah! For the first time, Alphonse was forced to witness a vampire drinking blood. Elroy howled in agony, his screams so piercing that Alphonse wanted to cover his ears to block them out. With agonizing slowness, Garrett drank his blood, and by draining him, also absorbed the life energy of tens upon tens of innocent human beings that Elroy had killed. All of a sudden, Elroy's formerly youthful body began to shrivel up like a desiccated husk of corn. As his youth evaporated, Garrett's vitality grew exponentially. Black smoke began to pour from the youth's body, hiding it from sight. Elroy's cries grew hoarse, then stopped entirely. Finally, his body turned to dust, which fell into the damp earth of the catacomb. The smoke finally cleared, leaving only Garrett. He was now clad in a black coat in place of his army uniform, and instead of the middle-aged man he had been previously, he now appeared to be roughly the same age as Alphonse. What? A small line of blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. He lapped it up with his tongue. His expression won pure bliss. He then started to look himself over, taking in everything as if trying to adjust to his new body. The man before him was no longer the Garrett that Alphonse once knew. He was the very image of the vampires that appeared in Erebonian legend. Ah, simply delicious. It's been over a decade since I last had the chance to taste human blood, but it's just as wonderful as I remembered. That was well worth going through all that tedious preparation for. He gave a satisfied sigh. Alphonse could only look at him in horrified disbelief. So, you're the one, you were the one who turned Elroy into a vampire? You were the one who made him drink blood? Just so you can take it all from him? Now, that's not quite true. I'll have you know that Elroy willingly chose to become one of us. Garrett placed his hand on his chest in mock solemnity and cast his eye downwards in a thoroughly exaggerated fashion. Elroy was an orphan. He had lived a poor, lonely life, more so than anyone else I have ever known. But I saw that he was capable with a sword and invited him into the army, and so he came to be dependent on me, just as I thought he would. Garrett wiped an imaginary tear from the corner of his eye. It was as if he saw me as his real father. Alphonse shuddered at the sound, chills running through his whole body. Eventually, he started to resent you for the fact that I always raised you like a real son. He wanted to receive that treatment for himself, so he tried to find a way to steal that position from you. One day, I decided to reveal my true identity to him, and invited him to become a real vampire as well. He gladly agreed, hoping that by doing so, he would be able to be more useful to you than useful to me than you. Hoping that I would favor him more than I did you. From a short distance away, Rose still lay on the ground, unable to move and frustrated by what she was hearing. In all likelihood, Garrett had given a fraction of his power to Elroy when he turned him into a vampire. The sense of that was the reason Rose assumed that he was the elder vampire they were searching for, but she had been wrong. And if not for her mistake, they wouldn't be in this perilous situation to begin with. For his part, Alphonse was stunned at the revelation that Elroy held a grudge against him all this time, as well as the reason for it. It wasn't as though Alphonse had done anything wrong himself or ever tried to hurt Elroy, and yet he was filled with a deep sense of regret. If only he had realized how Elroy felt earlier, perhaps he could have prevented him from becoming a vampire, and avoided all this happening. Furthermore, he had no choice but to admit to himself that Garrett was the true culprit behind all this, and the man who had manipulated a lonely boy to kill countless people, so he didn't have to dirty his own hands. All of a sudden, the fact they had been unable to stop the vampire murders no matter how much they strengthened their nighttime patrols made perfect sense. After all, what chance did they have when the mastermind himself was in charge of organizing them? As that truth dawned on him, Alphonse felt a dull, terrible ache in his heart. A thoughtful from Garrett brought Alphonse back to things at hand. The vampire licked his lips. Now that my hunger has finally been sated, I suppose all that remains is dessert, he purred. He glanced sideways toward the vacant-eyed Luca with undisguised desire. then wrenched his eyes away and focused on the still form of Rose. But before that, suddenly raising his left hand and pointing it at her, I think it's about time our dear vampire hunter left the stage for good. Before Alphonse could even react, countless lances of blood, like the two that had struck before, formed and flew from his palm toward the fallen woman. Alphonse cried out, but could do nothing to stop their flight. Rose saw the danger and reacted, still lying on the ground. She dropped the pistol she had secretly been aiming at Garrett, and at the last second used every bit of strength that remained to roll out of the way. She avoided instant death. It would only be a momentary reprieve if the vampire decided to strike again. Garrett shook his head in amazement. You really are a tenacious one, aren't you? Then how about— Stop! Just as Garrett was about to launch his next attack, Alphonse jumped at him, sword raised. He slashed with everything he could muster. The sword made contact, but aside from a dull ringing sound, it didn't seem to do any actual damage. Oh my. That's no way to show your appreciation to the man who raised you all these years, Garrett said, laughing. He flicked his index finger at Alphonse's forehead, causing an unimaginably powerful shockwave, which sent him flying backwards through the air. The silver sword Rose had given him was supposed to be able to kill vampires, and yet it wasn't able to do so much as scratch Garrett. It was then that Alphonse realized what he was up against: a true elder vampire. Filled with the life energy of countless humans that Elra had collected, that he stood no chance whatsoever against. The weight of that understanding filled him with despair. The vampire, meanwhile, seemed to think of something. Oh, I know. While I'm telling you all of this, there's one other little thing that you might be interested to know. Think of this as a reward for surviving for so long. Winded from the blow, Alphonse could only gasp. What? He struggled to rise, but only got as far as kneeling. Garrett looked down at him, a vulgar smile playing at his lips. The one who killed your parents was me. Just as Alphonse had thought that nothing else could surprise him, he was proved wrong. Proved wrong? Proven wrong? I don't know. Garrett's words dragged the sight of his mother and father, all the blood drained from their bodies, lying dead in their home over 10 years ago up from his memories. Garrett continued, seeming to enjoy Alphonse's reaction. There really was a vampire in that village back then. Naturally, I'm referring to me. Your father seemed to realize the first part, and set about trying to find out the vampire's identity in secret. This was the first that Alphonse had heard about this. He had no idea that his father once tried to do exactly what he and Rose did, or had. He was an exceptionally capable soldier, you know, Garrett continued. Far too capable to be stuck in a backwater village like that, but ended up being his undoing. He very nearly succeeded in discovering that I was whom he was seeking, and that's why I killed him with my own hands. Him and his wife, who was helping. Alphonse stumbled to his feet and broke into a lurching charge at Garrett. With frenzied slashes and thrusts, he attacked the vampire, almost as if to avoid having to listen to what it was saying. Garrett laughed as he batted away the weak blows. The only problem with my plan was you, Al. I had intended to kill you at the same time. You were still a child at the time, but I couldn't allow anyone who might know my true identity to live. Yet when I came to take care of them, you were away from the house. No matter how many times Alphonse hacked at Garrett, he could not connect. His silver sword, his fury, his grief, it all seemed meaningless against this foe. Nothing he did could hurt the creature who had taken everything from him. Completely ignoring Alphonse, Garrett continued talking. I couldn't very well kill you on a separate occasion either, he sighed. Now with the chance the vampire hunter I'd heard was skulking about might catch wind of it and come after me. Too many strange murders in a small town like that would be quite suspicious after all, and that's why I decided to keep you close to me instead, so that I could keep an eye on you myself. Effectively, it seemed Garrett's plan was to make sure that Alphonse never remembered anything that might help him realize the vampire's true identity. If he had, he would have been killed. The man he thought he knew, the man who cared for him like a father, was a lie. Slowly, as the full bitter truth began to sink in, he could feel the hot prickle of tears stinging his eyes. But that won't be necessary anymore. I have no reason to allow you to live any longer. Garrett had previously been disregarding all of Alphonse's futile attempts to hurt him, but suddenly he went on the offensive. Light and quick, he bypassed Alphonse's guard and his fist made contact with the young man's right side. Bones crumpled under the sharp blow, and once again Alphonse was sent flying. He landed hard, but was almost immediately up again through sheer force of will. The pain was incredible, and something was broken inside him. But it didn't matter. He simply couldn't forgive the man, the creature in front of him, for what he'd done. You can't win, Al. You must know that. Just give up and die. This time Garrett came to him. His attacks were relentless, like water gushing from a broken dam. Again and again, his tightly clenched fist pounded Alphonse with the force of a wrecking ball, unable to defend himself from the onslaught. Alphonse was showered with punches, blood spraying through the air with every strike. Al. Faintly, he heard Rose call his name. She barely seemed able to maintain consciousness. If he lost here, Rose would be killed for sure, as would Luca. Losing wasn't an option. Being killed wasn't an option. Defeat of any kind wasn't an option considering what was at stake. A sharp pain in his side signaled another bone breaking. Blood dribbled down his lips as he bit back a groan. The more time passed, the closer he was drawing to death's door. Nonetheless, he slowly raised the sword again, swinging it downwards with the last of his strength. As he did, Garrett aimed yet another punch at him directly in front. With a dull metallic sound, the blade snapped in two. The power of the blow sent the top half flying. It flipped end over, wait. It flipped end over and back. Wait, that's my brain. It flipped end over end and back, clear through Alphonse's right shoulder. It impaled into the ground next to where Rose lay. The moment it sliced through him, it felt as though his strings had been cut as well. Anyone who read the Overlord the Overlord light novel fan translations, we'll get this. Though his strings had been cut as well. He had no more energy left to fight. He couldn't even maintain his grip on the broken sword in his hand. He crumpled to the ground, too exhausted to go on. As he did, another faint memory of the past resurfaced in his mind. During the short period before his parents' murders, there had been a girl who often came to their home, who had introduced herself as an acquaintance of his father's. She used to take him out to play practically every day, so that he wouldn't disturb his father while he was working. Thinking back, the work he had been doing must have been investigating the vampire. It was on one of those days that the murders took place. If he had been home with his parents at the time, he would no doubt have been killed alongside them. It was thanks to her taking him out that day that he had been able to live in ignorance for so long and avoid being killed by Garen. He had long forgotten her, perhaps because his parents' murders had left such a deep scar inside him that all other memories of the period had been pushed into the depths of his subconscious. He found himself wondering how she was doing now, whether she was right, or alright. Hope she was. These were the idle thoughts that filled him as he lay defeated on the ashen earth, Garrett's mocking laughter filling his ears. And now, Al, I think it really is time to finish this. Your mother and father are waiting for you up with the goddess. The vampire held the fingers of his right hand straight and rigid, thumb folded inwards as if performing a karate chop. He then swung it downwards toward Alphonse like the blade of a guillotine, aiming directly for his neck. White light suddenly filled the area, obscuring all else. Oh my god. At the same time, Alphonse heard the sound of something rending the air. Realizing that he was still alive, he slowly opened his eyes. The hand that had been about to slice through Alphonse's neck now had a gigantic hole at its center. Garrett had his left hand wrapped around his right wrist and was staring at the hole in horror, unable to process what had just happened. The edges of the wound smoked and sizzled. Impossible! Before him stood Rose. Her injuries had been beyond most humans' ability to even survive, yet there she stood, unwavering, a silver smoking pistol in her hand. Her lips were still bright with blood, but her voice was steady. I will not allow you to lay another finger on him. Her eyes blazed with a crimson fire. A bright crimson fire. God damn! When's the finale? Wait, did he talk to you already? Oh yeah, we talked to the guy already. Oh, do we have any new Imperial Chronicle stuff? No, not really. I could tell that the provincial army's been on edge lately. But who would have thought they'd do something like that right in the middle of the city? Tonight's sales were a lot lower than usual thanks to all their trouble. Can't say I'm too happy about that. I could tell the provincial army's been on edge lately. But who would have thought they would do something like that in the middle of the city? Okay. Oh. Okay, so I think that's... Oh wait, we didn't see the factory. Can't believe that the provincial army seriously brought armored cars onto the streets. Nothing good will come from us provoking them though. But I'll be rooting for railway military police. Oh wait, we can't be seen supporting the railway military police, but between you and me, I'm pulling for them against the provincial army. Just look at you, you're covered in mud. Go in and clean yourself up before dinner. Oh man, I'm tired. Where's Todd anyway? I thought he was gonna be here when I got back. He's out playing with Locomo right now, and probably getting covered in mud. Alright, let's go visit Jackass. Talk to Jackass. Out on a date? Out on a date? At this hour? That's what I'd like to see out of youngsters like you. Make sure you treat her right, you hear? That's not really what's going on here. You really tell he's one of Gwen's friends. That's how you youngsters are meant to be. Make sure you treat her right. Oh my god, man. Oh yeah, wait, oh yeah, we don't have access to Altair Cannon yet. I wonder if I should make a Shadowblade R though. Maybe I'll think about it on the next day. Alright, that leaves the upper floor then. Oh wait, I don't think we went to the cathedral, actually. Oh goddess, thank you for giving me the strength to serve you for yet another day. I'm forever grateful for your unwavering protection. Excuse me? I hear there was a stand-up between the two armies this evening. It has disquieted the hearts of the people. Oh goddess, please grant the city peace. In this city, people think nothing of working until late this evening, or the evening. In my opinion, the people of this town are working themselves too hard, and they've been for a long time. I fear that one day the people here will forget what it means to be human. Very few people come here to pray anymore. I often fear that the hearts of people may one day go cold and invite disaster upon us all. Alright, let me take another bite. Oh. I think I sensed someone nearby. Really? Yeah, now that you mention it, I can too. Think it's the kid we're looking for? Probably. Let's take a look. Duh. This wooden box is pretty suspicious. No kidding, and I can sense someone inside. The boy we're looking for is named Todd, right? Todd, if you're in there, let us know. You've been surrounded. There's nowhere to run. What the? Yeah. Huh? Who are you guys? Got him. Lacomo sent us here, or sent us to come and look for you. I can't believe he seriously got adults to help him. That's cheating. Well, to be fair, it was our suggestion. He was pretty worried about you though, since it's getting so late. What were you going to do if he never found you? You didn't seem to want to be found, so I doubt you would have come out on your own. Well, you might want to set up a time limit next time you do this. Fine, I'll go home. How made you manage to find me in that box though? We can't all be masters of stealth. Hiding in a box is a bit cliche too. People do it all the time on sneaking missions. Wow, you're so cool. I want to go on a sneaking mission then. Can you not give innocent little children strange ideas? Oh my god, Fee. Thank you so much for helping me find Toddy. What a relief. I found a great hiding spot too. Stop calling me Toddy already. Why not? You're always going to be Toddy to me. At least no one ended up lost or hurt. It's really late now though, so both of you need to head along home, alright? What? We barely gotten started. Now Lakoa needs to hide. What? I think we need to stop for tonight and go home. You're going home. Losers have to do what winners say, right? Fine, I'm going. Good boy. Take care, both of you. Later. Wait for me, Toddy. Thank you so much for finding him for me. They're not much, but you can have these pretty stones as a thank you. Hey, you material. Thanks. Come on, what's taking you so long? Hurry up or I'm gonna leave you behind. I'm coming. Well, that takes care of that. But I never would have expected you to be so good with kids. I suppose. You find kids that age on the battlefield too. Aww. Oh man, why do you have to mention it like that? God damn. You find kids that age on the battlefield too. That's... Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Because that's normal for Fee. Anyway, we ended up getting sidetracked. I think it's about time we head to the bar to meet Captain Claire. Fine by me. Okay, so we checked General Goods, Diner. Okay, we checked Jackasses.
Wow, this city's got a nice feel at night.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
How many more active voices are there still? I think that might have been the last of them. Can't imagine there are any more now. And yeah, we went... Yeah, okay, we're done here. Let me just take one final bite of my snack and then we'll move on. Okay, wait, hold on one moment. Well, looks like this is the place. Are we done looking around? After we met with the captain, we probably won't have any more time to look around tonight.
Alright, now to find Captain Claire. Oh, wow.
Oh. Dressed for the occasion? So are you gonna include this in the report, Rean? I'm sure Instructor Sarah would love to read all about
I guess
this.
it makes sense that she wouldn't come here in uniform.
Excuse me.
The charms of an older woman, eh?
Look.
I think I'll manage.
There's nothing wrong with that. I got a lot accomplished today. I'd say I earned myself a drink in a nice place like this. Welcome to F. I hope you enjoy your visit. Oh, are you together? Welcome to F. Would you like something to eat? Alright, now let's get started on the reports. I swear, do Harvest and Gregor do anything other than play around? They have no aspirations higher than improving their remote-controlled car. Look, think of the kids and the military applications. Oh god, the military applications.
Sorry I kept you waiting.
Don't worry about it. Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I kind of ran into her on the way here and told her she could come along. That's not a problem, is it?
not at all. I assume you've been surveying the town while acting as Rean's bodyguard.
Sounds like you've done your homework.
The intelligence division has told me a little. Anyway, I think we might attract a little too much attention if we stay at the counter. What do you say we get a table for 3?
And of course, all we have is water.
It's good to see you both. I think this may be the first time we've been able to have a proper conversation.
You may be right. I was hoping I'd get the chance to sit down and talk with you too, actually.
Oh?
You sure you don't want me to go?
That's not what I mean. I have a lot of questions, like about why Milliam transferred into our class, for example. But there's one really fundamental question that would go a long way toward answering a lot of the others. What exactly is it that you and Chancellor Osborne are trying to accomplish?
Oh, getting to the heart of the matter right away, huh? The music stopped.
Let's look at that standoff at the Provincial Army earlier this evening. It's hard for me to feel much sympathy for them after they drove armored cars right into the middle of the city, but maintaining order in the provinces is generally accepted to be the duty of the provincial armies. Maybe it's just me, but it seemed an awful lot like you were just trying to provoke them by belittling their authority.
It did look like your people were picking a fight.
Viewed without the proper context, I can see how it might look like that. But right now, the factional conflict in the Empire is nearly at its breaking point. Crossbell is buzzing with talk of independence, and Calvert is still weathering its immigration disputes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I really wonder what it's going to be like once we actually get into the games with Calvard whenever they come out for the West.
In such volatile times, there's a very real need to create a far more expansive network to help maintain public order. The only organizations that are up to the challenge are the Railway Military Police and the Intelligence Division.
That may be the case.
Still, your boss is the one making those conflicts worse.
I can't deny that, but at the very least, the Chancellor is acting with a sense of integrity.
About that.
He hasn't stooped so low as to give aid to terrorists, unlike some others I could name.
Are we not gonna count the Red Constellation?
I want you to at least
I
understand
mean,
that.
they're Jaeger Corps, but have you seen the destruction they wrought?
Wait, so
Wow, she really said it. So the noble faction's been the one backing the terrorists, huh?
I'm afraid there's no longer any doubting it. We've all but confirmed the involvement of Duke Cayenne, the most prominent representative of the four great houses. The 3 airships the Imperial Liberation Front have been using have been traced back to Ordis as well.
I'd wondered how they got their hands on those.
I've heard the Duke is just a gaudy old man, but Eustace's brother came to pick him up in Legram, didn't he?
That's what Toval told us. And now, Rufus just so happens to pop up on another of his secret trips. Captain Claire, what's going on in Ruhr? And how are Elisa's family and the Reinford Company involved?
I guess it's time to get to the matter I called you here for in the first place. The Railway Military Police is currently weighing the possibility of a forced inspection of Reinford's first factory.
Oh.
Sounds serious.
The first factory belongs to one of Reinford's major divisions, right?
Correct. It's one of the main divisions and handles the bulk of the company's iron and steel processing, among other things. They're also currently under suspicion of something I'm not at liberty to discuss with you right now. The 2 of you are aware that project management at Reinford is split up across several major branches, right?
It is?
And on top of that, she's got her hands in the development of our Arcus units too. It's way too much work for one person. How many projects does Mother have under her wing right now?
Well, I'm afraid I can't give a simple answer to that. But suffice to say, the chairman only knows about a small number of the projects in development by the Reinford Group.
Only a small number of projects.
Well, lately, the directors have.
Come to think of it, I overheard Elisa and Sharon talking about something like that.
For years now, Reinford has been the Empire's heavyweight when it comes to heavy industry and manufacturing. The company is split into different divisions that handle things like steel production, railways, weaponry, and tools. The problem is that those divisions have simply become too large. Large enough to have their own internal allegiances. Some to the nobles, with others supporting the reformist faction.
Ah.
Are you serious?
So even companies are taking sides.
I'm sure Irina Reinford is aware of this to at least some extent as the company's chairman, but the self-supporting accounting system she introduced has the side effect of granting each division a long leash. Because of that, I doubt even she has a full grasp of the situation.
So, the first factory you guys have your sights set on for that inspection is aligned with the Noble faction, I assume.
You assume correctly. And the provincial army is doing everything it can to stop us from carrying out that investigation. That's what led to this evening's quarrel. I imagine Chairman Irina is currently doing her utmost to rein in all the divisions and get them back in line. The thing is, when she seized control of the company 5 years ago, she had to rely on support from both sides. Being indebted to them like that, I have my doubts she'll be able to target the underlying problem.
Aw.
It's sounding shadier by the minute.
You can say that again. The situation seems even more dire than I thought. And while all this is going on, the factional conflict keeps burning hot across the rest of the Empire.
I've told you as much as I can right now. Tensions are mounting all over the country, but Ruhr has an extra fuse of its own. Try to gain an understanding of the crisis unfolding here. Then do your best to stay out of it. Whatever other lessons Class 7 takes away from this field study, I hope that ends up on the list. I wish you the best with the remainder of your field study. Please have the bill sent to the Railway Military Police Branch Office in Ruhr Station.
Certainly. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Wait! The bill!
Looks like she just picked up our tab. She gave us some good intel too. For free even.
And I can't just go running after her now. Looks like we owe her one.
So, you like the mature type, huh? She's sorta like Sarah. Except responsible and composed.
You can say that again. Oh,
Must be yours.
I thought we only had a signal of 1 here.
hello? Rean Schwarzer's.
Rean, what are you doing?
Busted!
Oh, it's just you, Elisa.
It's just you. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's what you're saying to us. I was like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm just in a bar having a drink with the Fee and all. So, how's the talk with Una going?
Well, what do you mean it's just you?
Exactly. Why would you ever reply to any girl, or I guess like to someone of the opposite gender, by saying, "Oh, it's just you," when they have some kind of feelings towards you, and then you're just like, "Where have you been?" "Oh, it's just you." It's like, what do you mean, just you?
Is it true some girl invited you out for a night on the town?
Sharon, god damn it.
Whoa, hold on. A late night date? I thought you only had eyes for me, Rean.
Girl.
Anyway, good job, kiddo. You better spill all the details later, huh?
He'll do no such thing.
Now, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Fee was with him too.
Still, it was rash of you to go out on your own without at least consulting us.
Ready to head back?
Yeah, I think that'd be for the best.
Good shit. Found Fee without help? Wait, what do you mean without help?
Drinks are on me someday.
Meanwhile, north of Rua City. Well, here we go. Oh, sorry about that, Fred. I mute the mic. Oh, what the heck? Are they intercepting orbital?
The time has come.
Nah, it's a radio.
First Heimdall, then Crossbow. Now Rue shall be the third to witness our conviction.
As you wish.
We'll hit him so hard, they'll be picking up the pieces for weeks. You heard the boss, man. Tomorrow's a red-letter day for us. A real do-or-die moment, in every sense of the word.
All our preparations will be rewarded soon, when we sweep in and take the Chancellor's head. Keep your eyes on the prize, and give it all you've got!
Yeah!
Oh, shit. And day 2.
So tired.
The air here is so fresh, especially for a city with this many factories. Must be because we're up in the mountains.
I'll say, compared to the capital, the air quality is pristine.
Well, the capital does have a few 100,000 more people living there.
I love how Elisa's still a little upset about the late night date.
Sure is a nice day today, isn't it, Elisa?
Not as nice as last night must have been.
I told you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. I cannot believe you! After all those things you said to me last night, you go rushing out to meet another girl!
Ooh, the skies might be clear, but I'm sensing a stormy forecast today.
Shut up, Crow.
Well, all things considered, even if we assume Captain Claire is trustworthy, I'm not sure how wise it was to go out on your own.
Yeah, Fee was there.
I know. In hindsight, I regret keeping it to myself.
Still, it was pretty bold of Captain Claire to show up alone to meet Rean. Even dressed down, I wouldn't have thought she'd go out alone with the provincial army on patrol.
I'm guessing she's more than strong enough to handle herself. Not sure what her weapon of choice is, though.
Ah, I wish I could have seen her all dolled up, though. But she was a real knockout. Come on, that would put a spring in any man's step. I don't blame you for sneaking out alone.
You're not helping, Crow.
Oh! No! It's not like I knew she was going to show up wearing a cocktail dress. I swear!
Go on.
You seemed pretty taken by her when she showed up yesterday, though.
Shut up, V.
And your eyes were glued to her right up until she left the scene.
Oh, really?
So while we were enjoying a quiet evening, you were out carousing with a beautiful woman, were you? You lucky son of I mean for shame, Rean! We're here representing the Academy on a field study!
Dude, I wish we had a message log so I could play that voice clip again. You lucky son of a, I mean for shame, Rean.
I swear, you guys are just making things up at this point. But thanks to the information I got from her, we have a pretty good idea what's going on here in Ruhr. And now that we know, we should be able to do something about it. What do you think, Elisa?
Yeah, I'm in.
So in short, the first factory did something to catch the eye of the railway military police, prompting an inspection. And all the while, the provincial army's been here blatantly trying to prevent them from doing that?
Let's not forget that the first factory is run by none other than the Noble faction.
I know that the divisional directors have been operating without much in the way of executive oversight for years now, but Mother always allowed it. She thought that encouraging competition among the divisions would yield more innovations. I never thought that'd lead to something like this.
Seems like the lesser of two evils.
By the way, hearing about the first factory made me curious. Do the other divisions have their own political allegiances?
Well, to give you a basic idea,
Oh.
this is a bit oversimplified, of course. Divisions are made up of many people, and they all have their own opinions.
Huh. So, orbital communications and battle ordnance, that's Irina's. Trains and airships. Huh. The reformists have guns, tanks, and general armaments. Yeah, that makes sense. Iron and steel large machinery.
But the positions of each division's directors are clear as day, though. The first and second factories in particular have had a pretty fierce rivalry going on between them for years. But even still, I wouldn't have expected the first factory to do something flagrant enough to prompt a military inspection.
Neither would I.
All right, we're gonna do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this. And when we tie this up all nice and neat for her, even my mother will have to admit she's grateful to us.
Sounds like a plan.
That's the spirit.
Offhand, I'd say this falls under the scope of our field study too.
Thanks, everyone.
Sounds like we're in for a ride.
Anyway, let's take a look at the field study tasks Sharon gave us for today.
Oh my god, we actually pull out the paper for once. Field study day 2. Assigned tasks. Crying over lost milk. Shots fired! Nortia Highway monster. A ferocious monster has appeared on the Nortia Highway. The Nortia Provincial Army hereby requests its extermination. Monster. Hydra. Open area off Nortia Highway. Once the monster is eliminated, please report to the soldiers in front of Marcus Ragner's residence. Chief Sandy. Those of us at Ranford's second factory have developed a new type of Warble gun, and we'd like to have it tested. Speak with me if you're in speak with me in RF Arms if you fancy giving it a shot. Sandy. Let's see, vanilla. Oh no. Oh, why is it vanilla? Milk is missing. Could you please help find our beloved little kitty? Any would-be heroes should come talk to me at my house next to the dining bar F. Next to the dining bar F. Vanilla.
Yeah, I think we can handle these.
Excuse me?
It's still 8 a.m., so we have plenty of time to work our way through the list.
And while we're doing that, we can ask the people we meet about how things stand between Reinford's divisions. Look alive, everyone. It's time to get to work.
Right.
Roger.
Gotcha.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to do this tomorrow because it is getting late right now. Alright. Because it's like 11:30 right now. Oh, 11:40 something right now, so I really gotta get some sleep.